Hey guys, today, following the drop of their latest single, Reflect, I'm joined by Jon of hardcore outfit Novus. Thanks so much for being here today, Jon. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Um,
Good.
so firstly, tell us a bit about the track. What was the inspiration behind Reflect and what was the process like writing it?
So I was leading on from our single Hopeless, which is one we just did before this, which is like the battle of depression and such and such. And it's just sort of leading on like it's the mental battle in your head of not knowing where you're at in life and what you want to be and what you want to do and certain factors like that. And just struggling with like the influence of other people and like comparing yourself to others.
Mhm.
So it's, yeah. I sort of got the inspiration from it because I had been struggling with that type of thing, like just not knowing what I wanted to do, and then other people telling me you should do this and do that, and just so on and forth. So it's more so going to lead on to our next EP, which hopefully should be next year, and it'll be sort of the aftermath of that, the overcoming of that, and progressing in life type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's obviously a very deep song that I'm sure resonates with a lot of listeners.
yeah.
What currently are in this difficult place and going through the same sort of experience?
So you just cut out a little bit then.
What message would you give to people who currently are in the same position and going through the
Yeah.
same experience?
It's only temporary. Things are always going to get better. I know for a lot of people when they get into that state of mind, they think, "No, this is forever," but it's not. So I guess reflects are sort of about trying to display some resilience and trying to think of the bigger picture and how things are going to be like further on in life, how they're going to become better. And yeah,
Yeah, okay. So as for the music video, who was involved in putting that together and what was that like?
it was fun. It was probably our first proper big music video shoot we've done because the first one we did for Hopeless was just literally in a bedroom at our mate's house. It was like nothing because that's when quarantine had first like just come into action. So there was no social distancing that. And Matt, he's a good mate of mine now. He's from Wisco Creatives, the company that he owns and operates. I met him last year. We actually played a gig at Southport with the band that he was playing in. And we sort of became friends then and then just started talking and things progressed and he started getting into it more. And so we went up. It was 2 day shoots. One was full band that we did up in Brisbane. Just it was a dance studio, but he has he also owns his own lighting thing, so he has a sick lighting setup. And then the second day was like the narrative part, which I did all the acting parts for that in, which is a full day shooting. But yeah, shout out Wisco Creative. He's the man.
So how long did that process take overall to get that music video filmed and produced?
Well, we were struggling with ideas of what to run with to have like that narrative and idea. So Matt sort of just took it on board because he's real creative like that. And I think he comes up with things like that. He's like a genius, eh? So within 2 weeks we had organised everything and had it all set out. And he has so many connections and friends that they always like are willing to come and help out. Colin Jeffs came and just helped him out with the whole everything going on. Colin's like a huge videographer. He does insane work with like huge big bands. And so it just flowed. Matt just knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Well, it turned out really well, so it's obviously a good thing.
Yeah, stoked with it. Yeah.
So Reflect has been out for just over a week now, following on from the single Hopeless back in late May. What's the response been like compared to your other tracks so far, and how do you think this fits in with the progression of your music as a band?
The response is since Hopeless, like compared to Hopeless, is definitely like we can notice it more significant. I think we've done it like this time. We've actually gone and done the press release for it properly, and like with Hopeless, I think we sort of just rushed it. Even like releasing it, we accidentally something happened on Facebook and it released the wrong day, the wrong time. We were just like So we planned this out more and we decided who we wanted to go with company wise to do all this press release, and it definitely has made a difference. So we're just going to continue that on now. We're just going to step it up every time because we're just learning. It's all still new for us, all this like stuff. We've all played music for years, but this is like, it's all new to it. So we're just learning as we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of Novus's music style then, which artists would you credit for inspiring the band's sound?
It's hard to nail it because we all individually, like we all love so many different bands, but we all favourite certain bands and they're all different. But I would say a huge inspiration would be Polaris from Sydney, just because the guitarist, who's my brother, he just loves them. So that's where he gets all his writing style from and tries to go off them. And I sort of write with him. That's why we've always, like, me and him, like, we live together, so we're just constantly writing back and forth. But yeah, I'd say Invent NMA as well. They're a huge influence, which that's what we're starting to go into now. But we love our heavy stuff as well. So like Alpha Wolf and Knocked Loose and things like that, which we're trying to incorporate that into our style. I think we're still trying to nail our sound. Like, we're not 100% there, but we're on our way for sure. Yep.
Okay, so in terms of individual musical influences then, who was it that sort of inspired each of you to get into the industry and want to be in a band and make your own sound?
Yeah. It really stand back, it's the most typical answer people normally give for metalcore, but Parkway Drive, 100%. We're like, we're literally, we live like half an hour up the road from where they grew up. And the time frame when they started becoming like something and were huge, we were at that age where we were starting to get into music. So it just felt perfect timing. Like, we're just like, and like to where they are now is like, it just gives you that hope that anyone can make it. You know what I mean? If you put the hard work in.
Exactly. So you've already sort of mentioned this, but following on from your 2 singles this year, can fans expect an EP or an album anytime soon? And can you tell us a bit about that?
EP for sure next year, 100%. We're in the writing process of that now, and with gigs being very limited or barely any, we're going to use that time to knuckle down and smash out music. But we've got like demos on demos, because our vocalist, he writes guitar as well, so he can play guitar so good. So he writes stuff. He's constantly writing. Zach, the bass player, he owns his own studio, Sinking Ship Studio, so he records and produces all our music. So without him, this band would be nothing. So yeah, we can pump demos out just like that. So yeah, we're in the process of writing that, but we may or may not be dropping a single in the next couple of months, maybe.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that just in case.
Yeah.
So obviously touring is a lot more difficult at the current time. But once restrictions ease up, are there any plans for any live shows or anything, I guess, set in stone as of yet?
Yeah. So we've got a pretty good live show that we came together now. Zach, the bass player, producer, he's come up with that himself. So it's got all interludes and so it all flows as one. We're pretty happy for where we're at now and how that sounds. So we're going to continue that. Going into next year, depending on when we can get this EP going and release it, we'll it'll reflect on when we do a tour and stuff. But I was planning, I definitely want to come down to Sydney again. We played one show there before, but I want to sort of continue to make a tour. So I was thinking I want to hit Newcastle, Sydney, Melbourne for sure. But this all is going to depend on COVID and when restrictions ease off. But hopefully next year, at the end of the year, would be the Sydney, Melbourne type tour. And then if we were to release an EP, I would dare say mid-year, and we'd probably head north, so go Brisbane and sort of Rockhampton up that way, where they don't get shows very often, and sort of run the show off that way.
Yeah, well,
we definitely want to tour 100%. So
yeah, we'll definitely hope to see you guys in Sydney sometime soon then.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Lastly, for anyone watching who's unfamiliar with your music, how would you describe Novus in just a few words?
We're just simple, normal dudes who just love what we do, and we're not doing it like everyone always asks us. Oh, how much money do you make? Do you get paid? Blah blah blah. And we're just like, even if we did, we don't do it for the money. We do it just because we love it. Yeah, we're losing money. Everything costs so much money. You know what I mean? We're pumping money into it, but that's because we love it, and we just want to create music that we like, and hopefully people like it as well.
Yeah, well, we can definitely see obviously your passion for it, and as well as the other guys just come through your music and how much you enjoy doing what you do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of the interview. But thank you so much for your time today, Jon. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate your time as well.
That's all right. So to everyone watching, be sure to check out Reflect on all major streaming platforms and like and subscribe to be kept up to date with the latest. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys.